guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing good. Today I'm going to be doing another Let's Critique It video. Yay, it's been a little while since I've done one of these. Oh, and I know I said I was gonna have a little buddy over here the last time you saw me in this shooting here. Unfortunately, I am not, they're not ready yet. But in its place, I have my Raphael Ninja Turtle face mask here for you guys to kind of hang out with. So yeah, so that's a little temporary addition to this little corner here, but soon enough I will add a little something there just to spruce up that corner. But today I'm going to be critiquing the video by, who is this by? Oh, SummerGirl Fitness. And the title is Clean Eating 101, Tips and Tricks for Weight Loss and Eating Clean. So, without further ado, let's critique it. I couldn't get over my ears. All right, let's do it.
Hey everyone, I'm Mario from SummerGirlFitness.com. Welcome to Clean Eating 101. So this has been a highly requested video, and today we're going to talk about what is clean eating, why is it important, and what are the steps you have to take to get started with eating clean. So first off, what is clean eating? It's pretty simple. The basic premise of clean eating is eating foods that are exactly what they say they are. For instance, a banana is just a banana. Kale is just kale. Chicken is just chicken. Almonds are just almonds. So clean foods are foods that are just one ingredient. They are what they are. They're not processed with a bunch of extra stuff added in together. For instance, like if you get a hamburger from McDonald's, it's been made with all kinds of different ingredients. It is no longer like a pure clean food the way a breast of chicken and some kale are just two ingredients and they are a whole food. So that's the premise behind eating clean. And so clean foods, foods that are just one ingredient like fruits, vegetables, lean meats, bananas, things like that, you want those to be the primary types of foods that you eat. So personally, I like to follow the sort of 80-20 rule, where I try for 80% of my foods to be clean, but then I also still want to enjoy a treat now and then, so I allow for that 20% to still enjoy the foods that I love. So eating clean can just be about what you want to focus on for the majority of the foods that you eat.
Okay, I'm going to pause right there. So a few things. One thing I want to say is I do not like the term clean eating, clean versus unclean, clean versus unclean foods. I don't like that. I don't like that term because I don't know. It kind of just implies that it kind of goes to that what's a good food and what's a bad food, which you've probably heard this before, and a lot of dietitians believe there's no such thing as a good or bad food. So I found this website, it's foodingredientfacts.org, and they actually have the little statement here. I will put it up here in the video so you guys can read it. But the term clean is appropriate after washing dirt off your produce, not when interpreting labels. So I tend to agree with that a lot. Using that term too, the terms clean, unclean, good, bad, that can certainly encourage disordered eating, I think. So that could be an issue. And with clean eating, if you're trying to focus on clean eating, that could certainly allow for or cause a lot of restriction in your diet. So, which is not something that as a nutrition professional, I want people to do. I don't want people to eat a really restrictive diet. So the other thing too is that when you do eat only clean, you have the potential to avoid certain foods or, that are actually nutrient dense. So you could run into an issue where you become nutrient deficient in certain nutrients. So that is obviously an issue. I think in this case, maybe the term that could be used is maybe eating more whole foods, whole food based diet or something like that. Which, I agree we should be eating more whole foods and less ultra processed foods that almost don't resemble foods at all. So I'm actually going to read this quote again from that website, foodingredientfacts.org, because I just absolutely love it. The trend of using the term clean to describe a diet that is free of additives has not only created a misconception that it is a safer way of eating, but it is also now falsely associated with positive health outcomes such as weight loss. The truth is that reducing the amount of calories consumed, not the amount of ingredients or additives, is what actually helps produce weight loss. So this actually goes in line with the title of this video, which is tips and tricks for weight loss and eating clean. So another thing to think about is she even going to be talking about weight loss and how clean eating will result in weight loss? So again, I've seen this a lot, but this might be a little bit clickbaity in my opinion. So I wanted to throw that quote in there and see, I guess, where her video takes us. All right, so let's keep watching this.
Now, if you do love, for instance, bread, and bread is multiple things mixed together. Obviously, bread is not like a strawberry that is just one thing. So this is my favorite type of bread. And when you're looking at packaged foods, what you want to make sure is on the ingredient list, two things. Number one, when you read through the list of ingredients, you want to make sure that you know what all of those things are. That every ingredient on that list is something that you recognize. Maybe it's a whole grain, maybe it's salt, something like that. Something that you recognize, and you want the list of ingredients to be short. If you see a label that has tons of ingredients, not a good idea. So this bread is a sprouted grain bread. It is actually flourless, and all the ingredients are sprouted grains. So sprouted rye, sprouted barley, sprouted corn. They're all things that you know. So this is an option of a food that would be a better option for a packaged good. So why is this important? There are so many foods out there, especially packaged foods, that are full of artificial ingredients, that are full of hidden sugars, and are not really giving you a lot of nutrients. And when you eat whole foods, foods that come basically in their original form, they have all of the nutrients that we want. So that's why you want to make sure your diet is consisting of at least 80% of these clean whole foods, like corn, cucumbers, fruits, vegetables, all those kinds of things, and then allow for that 20% to be treats, and then healthy packaged foods as well.
I'm going to pause there because I got a few things to touch on before she gets too far ahead of me. So food label ingredients. She said that, you should be looking at food packages and eating foods that have ingredients that you actually know. I actually disagree with this. I used to believe this. I used to say the same thing. I said, if you don't know what the ingredient is, if you can't pronounce it, if you can't spell it, if you don't know what it is, then you have to absolutely avoid that food. I absolutely disagree with that now. I don't think that's the case at all. I get where she's coming from. I do. I get where she's coming from. But one of the things that I actually discovered is the term chemophobia. And let me read the definition of what chemophobia is, and hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. So chemophobia is defined as, and actually it could be, no, it's probably not chemophobia, it's chemophobia. Chemophobia. Let me read the definition. So chemophobia is defined as an aversion to or prejudice against chemicals or chemistry. It also refers to an exaggerated or irrational distrust of certain foods, including food ingredients or food additives. So I've never actually heard of this term before, but yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of chemophobics out there, if that's the right way to say it. Because, again, we're afraid of ingredients on labels, and I don't think we should be. So one thing I want to touch on is what ingredients are for. Ingredients in our food, on food labels, they actually have a purpose. They serve a purpose in our foods. And just a few of these purposes include to maintain or improve safety and freshness in our foods, to improve or maintain nutritional value in our foods, and to improve taste, texture, and appearance. These are reasons why ingredients in our foods aren't scary. They're actually there for a reason. And one thing I want to remind you guys is that there are governing bodies in our food system who regulate the safety and the composition of our food. So like the FDA, the USDA, there's food scientists out there, there's professionals who actually are responsible for looking at what is in our food and deeming it safe and healthy and nutritious and all of that. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. So an example I wanted to share with you, because speaking of food ingredients and looking at labels and not being able to pronounce the things in our foods or not knowing what they are, Here is a picture of a banana, and here below it is all of the ingredients. Now, you tell me, do you know all of the ingredients in there? Can you pronounce all of those ingredients? Let me read some to you. Let's see here. We got cysteine, tyrosine, linolenic acid, capric acid, oxalic acid, phytosterols, phylloquinone. I can't even pronounce that. Hexanoate. Okay, so you get my point. Look at that friggin' banana. It's a whole food. It's not been processed other than when you peel it, right? But however, there's a crap ton of ingredients in there that I can barely pronounce and I'm not familiar with. So, boom. There's a good example for you why we should not be afraid of the ingredients in our foods. All right, so let's move on.
So I'm going to go through some steps that you can take to start with this clean eating journey. So number one is go through your pantry. We just talked about labels, right? So what you want to do is go through and get rid of the stuff that doesn't meet those two criteria. A big place that often happens is with salad dressings. So I love for salad dressings just to use regular vinegar and olive oil. Again, both of these just one ingredient, but you can just drizzle some olive oil and some vinegar on your salad, add some herbs. You can also squeeze some lemon, and it makes a great dressing. So a big culprit for a lot of things that are not clean are going to be in that condiment section. So definitely look through that. Also, of course, your cupboards and any packaged foods. And again, go through those two criteria. Make sure you know everything on that list and you want the list to be short. So when you're thinking about clean eating, you got to look at your condiments. And the second thing is to really look at your snack food. And I know that we all sometimes need something quick for on the go. And I totally get that. And so I'm going to show you a few of the better options that I've found. So some of the bars I love are, for instance, the Lara bars. And if you look at the ingredients on here, it's just dates, peanuts, semi-sweet chocolate chips that are all organic, and sea salt. That's it. And so this is an example of a bar that is really clean and healthy because short list of ingredients and you know what all of them are. Some other ones I love are the RX bars, and these are just dates, peanuts, egg whites, natural peanut flavor, and sea salt. And they actually have a ton of protein because of the egg whites. So those are some examples of bars that you can do for snacks that you can grab on the go, but are really healthy. Obviously, trail mix is a great example. One thing that I love for snacks are making protein smoothies. And the protein powder that I really love is the Tone It Up protein, and you can get this at Target actually. Same thing, the ingredients, when you read through, they're very short list, and they're all organic, and it is a plant-based protein. Protein powder is another place where there tends to be a lot of artificial ingredients, a lot of added sugars. This protein powder is great. And I love to make it with frozen fruit and frozen cauliflower. And frozen cauliflower is kind of my little secret. You think it sounds so weird, but if you use frozen cauliflower in your smoothie, it makes it really creamy, and you get all the added benefits of the vitamin C that cauliflower has. So I mix in some frozen cauliflower, maybe some bananas, some of the frozen berries. Perfect smoothie, really easy and quick for a snack on the go. Obviously, you want to make sure you're getting tons of fruits. I've got a pineapple here. I love pineapple. We've got some berries. Blueberries are amazing. Strawberries, grapefruits. I have some two different types of mangoes here. There's so many amazing fruits out there. And one amazing thing about eating clean is you can get excited about the foods that are out there that maybe you haven't tried yet. So these are two different types of mangoes. I've got some arugula. Carrots are great for snacks, little baby carrots. You can eat these with hummus. You can actually make your own hummus, guacamole, so good. Also, I've got some kale here. Kale is great for salads. You can do a big salad at lunch. You can add some nuts to it, some lean protein, just some basic chicken, and then your dressing for a lunch option. Also got corn here, which is a really great starch, but corn is great to have with lunch or with dinner. And of course, again, all whole and healthy. Some other things I'd really love to do is make overnight oats. So you can just buy some oats. I've got tons of overnight oat recipes on my blog, and you can mix it just with almond milk, with berries, with peanut butter, whatever you love, and make some overnight oats for breakfast. So there's so many options, and I know that when you think about eating clean, at first it probably sounds like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be eating broccoli and chicken and that's it, but it's not true at all. It's really just about reading labels and making sure that you know what's in your food, and then trying to live by that 80-20 of making sure that 80% of the foods that you eat are those whole foods that are exactly what they say they are, and then allowing for that 20% for a treat here and there to keep a nice and balanced lifestyle. When I do want a treat, one of the things I found that I really love, and I was talking about these on my Instagram story the other day, but these are called Lara Bar Bites. And you find them where you find the protein bars at the grocery, but they are little balls and they taste like brownies, but they're made out of dates, almonds, semi-sweet chocolate chips, coconut flour. So everything is really good ingredients. And these are actually really, really tasty. So if you have a little bit of a sweet tooth, I recommend this, or just some small squares of dark chocolate that you can get that are, check the ingredients, make sure that they're not made with a lot of preservatives, but you can get some really good organic dark chocolate for a little bit of a sweet tooth. Some other things I enjoy are superfoods like chia seeds, which are amazing. They have so many good calcium, omega-3s, fibers. You can put these in smoothies, put them on your salads. So good. I also love cacao nibs. When I make a chocolate protein smoothie, I like to put these cacao nibs on top. These are really good. When it comes to drinks, I really obviously try to stay away from anything that has added sugars in it unless it's rosé on a cheat day, which of course is totally fine. But normally I love to drink La Croix or LaCroix, I don't even know how to say it, the sparkling water. Love that, comes in so many flavors, it's so great. I also love teas. At night, I like this bedtime tea by Yogi. This is really good. In the morning, if you need a little bit of caffeine, you could do a black tea like Darjeeling. Or coffee, of course I do drink coffee. But obviously staying away from sodas or sweetened drinks, it's just added sugar and tons of calories you don't need. Overall, I would just say that if you're starting with clean eating, number one, go through your cupboards, get rid of stuff. Check the labels on the foods that you eat. Maybe find some healthier alternatives for your snacks, your protein powder, and your treats. And then really focus in on planning. So thinking about your lifestyle. If you're busy, how can you make things ahead of time to really make sure that you stay on track? Do you have to meal prep? Maybe pack some salads ahead of time.
All right, I'm gonna pause there. Sorry, that was actually long. I do agree with most of what she said. I do think, she mentioned the 80-20 rule. I think that's a good guideline. But again, if it's going to, when the numbers come into the mix and percentages and all of that, it just, for many, I think it could cause just some more of restrictive eating behavior. And I'm not like that. I feel like just listening to our bodies, eating what our bodies are telling us to eat, being mindful, trying to eat, more whole foods, incorporating, a balance of whole foods in our diets and less ultra processed foods, then it's good. I think processed foods, if you watch one of my last videos, I kind of talk about why processed foods are actually beneficial and good for us in a way. So check that out. But anyway, one of the things, a few things I want to touch on actually, is food waste. So she mentioned to go through your cupboards, your pantry, your fridge, all of that, and basically just throw your food away. If it has ingredients that you don't know, can't pronounce, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely do not do that, okay? You purchased that food out of your cold, hard-earned cash. I don't even know if that made any sense. You know what I mean. You bought that food, you purchased it. If you're throwing it out, that's a freaking huge waste of money. So please don't do that, okay? Do not throw away food. If anything, donate it to a food pantry or something, or give it to someone in need, a neighbor, or someone who's gonna eat it. Just don't throw it away. Food waste is money out the window. And we as a country, the US, we waste a crap ton of food, okay? Just a few points I wanna make is reducing food waste can obviously save money, like I mentioned. It can reduce methane emissions that we see a lot in our trash dumps, where we basically, all of our trash ends up. A lot of the food goes there, so it can reduce methane emissions. Reducing food waste can conserve energy and resources, so water, land, all of that stuff, fuel, transporting the foods, it can actually help with those issues. And it can obviously support your community, especially, like I said, when you donate your food. Donate food that you're not going to eat to a local food pantry. You're supporting somebody in need, you're supporting your community. And I just think those are very important things to touch on with this video. So do not throw away your food. The other thing I wanted to mention is, she did mention like organic. I don't think she's really heavily touching on getting organic only, because organic, it's not nutritionally superior than conventional foods. So organic foods do actually contain some pesticides on them, and they're not necessarily 100% free of pesticides. And that's, again, a whole other video, but just wanted to touch on that. But again, most of the stuff she's saying, I do agree with. I'm not trying to like bash her or anything like that. I do think she's got some good tips and everything, but my fear is that it's just the super restrictiveness of, eating super clean and avoiding foods that you don't understand the labeling. One other thing I wanted to mention is, She mentioned like having a cheat day, or when you have a cheat day. I don't understand that. Okay, again, like if you're to the point where you're like super restrictive all week long, and you're like depriving yourself to the point where you need to have a cheat day where you just like binge or eat whatever you want, that's a problem. Okay, I think every day should be a cheat day, in my opinion. You should treat yourself every day to something sweet, to something that you like, again, in moderation. But yeah, I think every day should be a cheat day, in my opinion. I do agree with her in reducing your intake of calorie-dense beverages. Again, those are things that are just empty calories. There's no added nutritional benefit to consuming calorie-dense beverages like soda pops and juice and that type of thing. And again, going along the lines of the concentrated sweets as far as candy bars and that type of thing, those are things you can certainly eat, but don't eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, basically, if you know what I mean. So I definitely agree with her in that regard. So let's keep watching because I don't want to get too far ahead. We're almost done with this video.
I have tons of healthy recipes on my blog that give you ideas for breakfast, lunch, dinner snacks that can really kind of help you along on this process in picking healthy foods and really eating clean, which is really just about eating the most nutrient-dense foods that we have. So I hope that this video helped you. If you need some extra, advice or tips, I do offer online weight loss and wellness coaching. So it's available worldwide, and basically I work one-on-one with you to go through this process and figure out how it can work for you and your lifestyle. And so we problem solve together, figure out what are the biggest challenges you face and how can I help you come up with solutions to really integrate this clean eating into your life. One last thing I want to say, of course, again, that 80-20 rule. I'm not about restricting anything or getting rid of any food groups. I think life is meant to be enjoyed. We need to have ice cream every now and then. I need to have a sprinkles cupcake every now and then. Those are so good. So, enjoy a treat when you want a treat and don't feel guilty about it. And if you're eating clean 80% of the time, then you're doing amazing. So this is just a great way to try to think a little bit more about what you're eating, try to add in a lot more of these wholesome, nutrient-dense foods, and then just enjoy how colorful and amazing food can really be. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I'm Marielle from SummerGirlFitness.com.
Okay, I'm going to stop that. She just kind of goes on to talk more about herself and all that good stuff. So anyway, I'm glad that she did, her last few minutes, she did mention the fact that she's not about restriction, the 80-20 rule and that type of thing, which is good. I'm glad that she recognized that. Her goal is for everyone to just consume more whole foods and that type of thing, which again, I think we should be trying to do. But that 80-20 rule, again, I just disagree with it. Bottom line, I just don't think it's conducive to supporting health. Again, it's just, I get where she's coming from, and some people, it might help some people, and that's fine. If it works for you, it works for you. But it just might feed into that restrictive eating habit, and that's just something that is concerning. Furthermore, it just feeds into diet culture, basically. Like, oh, I eat an 80-20 diet, and it's like, well, what is that? Again, it's a diet that is potentially restricting the food you eat. So any diet that is too restrictive or restrictive in any way, I think can be just detrimental to health, to your mind, your well-being, all of that. So I just really am not for that. Another thing I guess I want to point out is just like, why does she have the need? I know she's like a fitness influencer, if you want to put it that way, but why does she have to be dressed in like a workout outfit? Like, she's not working out. She's in a sports bra and some leggings or whatever, yoga pants. Why does she have the need to do that? Like, are you trying to show off that you're like super healthy and fit and look at me and this is the way I eat, so you can, in turn look the way I look when you eat this way? Like, I don't know. That's kind of the vibe I get. Maybe she's not trying to do that. But I do think that it is potentially just, I don't know. It's just not, to me, in my opinion, it's just not, I don't think she needs to do that. I think she's just wear normal clothes, be comfortable. Wear your leggings or whatever, but you don't need to be in a sports bra. I don't, so that's just like my little side thing. But no, I think but like overall, I think her intentions are good with this video, but there's just a few things I wanted to touch on for you guys. Some of the critiques that I think you guys need to be aware of and just be mindful of. So last point is that she did say, again, back to her title, the tips and tricks for weight loss and eating clean. So I don't think she made any mention of how clean eating will help you lose weight. So that is, again, clickbaity, I think, in my opinion. So she doesn't say, well, clean eating will result in X amount of pounds lost per week, or this is the science behind why clean eating will help you lose weight and all of that. There's nothing touched on about that. So again, red flag right there, clickbaity. So that is just one last little point I wanted to make. That being said, I'm done. I know it was kind of a long video today, but anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. If you liked the video, please like it, put that thumbs up there, or click that thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate the support from you guys. It helps me again, support my channel and growing and doing all the things that I want to do with this channel. So with that, thank you guys for watching today. I hope you are staying healthy and safe. You guys take care, and I will see you again very soon. All right, bye.